Welcome to today's topic. We are going to be talking about food perfectionism and this limiting belief that a lot of women have that they need to be perfect with their food, with the choices that they're making, with the types of foods, with the quantity, with their exercise, etc., in order to get the results that they want. And I'm really here to debunk that myth today. I'm really excited to also talk more with you about what I call champion mindset. This is a mindset that I have worked to really develop in myself, and it's something that I also teach my clients. So let's dive into this limiting belief that you need to eat perfectly in order to see results with your physique, with your body. Women who come to me, they want to lose typically 10 to 30 pounds in a healthy, sustainable way over a period of, 3 to 9 months to a year. And what that really requires is something that's sustainable, something that you can do every day, ongoingly, over and over again. And when women eliminate foods, when they focus on restricting, when they focus on, only eating certain types of food or certain types of food being right or perfect or clean, etc., what that does is it actually creates an increased desire for those foods that you have forbidden. Have you ever noticed that when you're like, okay, I'm not going to eat any sugar, then you might have a binge on sugar thereafter, or I'm not going to have any chips, and then all you can do is think about chips. So it's very common when we eliminate foods to start to have this restrictive mindset. And I've really evolved as a coach. I've been a nutrition coach for 5 years, and I've been working with clients for 5 years specifically around their weight loss goals. And one of the things that I've seen is that things that are overly restrictive, that eliminate entire groups of food, require foods, they don't tend to work for people long term because we all have our own taste preferences, right? I don't actually really enjoy cruciferous veggies. I forced myself to eat broccoli and Brussels sprouts and cauliflower and kale for the longest time. Can you relate? And one, my digestion actually doesn't do well with cruciferous veggies. And two, I actually don't super love them. And it took me some time to realize what I actually enjoy are things like spinach and chard and lettuces and asparagus and cucumber. And those are the vegetables that I actually like. And so we need to let go of this mindset that I need to be perfect in order to get results. The limiting belief that you may be struggling with right now is the belief that perfectionism equals results. If you are a perfectionist or a recovering perfectionist, let me know. But, perfectionism actually doesn't create results. That is a limiting false belief. What actually produces results in life is consistency and what I call being an Olympian or being in the Olympian range. If you think about an Olympian, your favorite Olympian, Simone Biles, Michael Phelps, I don't know who else does the Olympics because I haven't watched them for a long time, but any of your favorite Olympians over the years, they are not perfect. It's very rare for any athlete to get a perfect score, right? And even if they did happen to get a perfect score on one event or one games, they don't repeat that over and over again, right? Because perfection doesn't actually exist in humans. We are not actually able to be perfect. It's not part of our character or nature as a flawed creature. And so when we seek something that we're not able to actually attain, it's very discouraging. It's very frustrating, and it ends up really negatively impacting our mindset long term. So what you really need to focus on is consistency and being an Olympian. So what is being an Olympian really about? What is the mindset of an Olympian? Well, an Olympian is someone who is a champion, right? A champion is somebody who has losses. They have wins and they have losses, but they do not quit. And they don't perceive their loss like a huge failure, a failure of their character, a failure of their being, a failure of their worth, a failure of who they are. They see it as, Some things were missing from my preparation. Some things were missing from my performance. Some things were missing from my mindset. And those are the things that they then go attack in their training to develop themselves in what was missing so they can come back and perform at a higher level. But champions do not quit. And a lot of y'all with your goals just kind of throw in the towel when things get hard and you quit, whatever the goal is. You need to develop a champion mindset. One of the things that I do with my clients is we set what I call Olympian targets or Olympian ranges. This is something I actually developed within the past, I'd say, 1.5 to 2 years of coaching. I didn't used to do it this way. I used to be more all or nothing with my clients. Like you either hit your macros for the day or you didn't. And I realized that disempowered people. My clients started to experience, hey, like I feel like I'm failing. I didn't hit my macros. I failed. I missed my macro, blah, 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 right? Because they had a target. And if you didn't hit the target, fail, right? On or off, black or white, yes or no. All or nothing, black and white thinking does not serve us. It's actually a cognitive distortion that we're all prone to fall into as humans. So what I love about the Olympian range, and look, you can apply this to any area of your life. This does not just apply to your fitness and your weight loss goals. This can apply to every area of your life, your dating life, your relationship, your finances, your career, your artistry, your creative acts, anything at all in life you can apply this to. And when you set goals according to the Olympic range, you will be much more empowered. So now my clients, they have targets to hit with their macros. And it's really fun. It's like a fun game we play. You can get a gold day, you can get a silver day, you can get a bronze day, or you can get a 4th place day. And what my clients start to see is, you can actually get results with like 2 gold days and 3 silver days and 2 bronze days. Or you can get results with like 2 gold days, 1 silver day, 2 bronze days, and 2 4th place days. Does that make sense? Hit me with some hearts if this makes sense to you. And so I want you to start thinking about your goals in that way. So my clients have different targets that I encourage them to hit. And then it's within their power to determine like how quote unquote perfect do they want to be. And we don't use that word, but like you could hit gold 7 days a week. And like that's going to produce a different type of result for you than if you hit 4th place every day for a week. Does that make sense? It's not bad or wrong. It's cause and effect. What's the consequence of doing this behavior? What result does it produce? Is it the result as I want? Is it the result I want? Is it the result that's sustainable? Is it sustainable for me to hit gold every single day for a month? Probably not. All right. But my clients start to learn and have this breakthrough like, oh, perfectionism actually doesn't cause results. Consistency and being an Olympian and being in an Olympic range are what produce results. I personally love the idea of developing myself as a champion, right? It's just so empowering. I think a lot of people don't talk about like inventing themselves as a champion or thinking about being a champion. But when I was in my mid-20s, I was really struggling with my own self-concept. I was kind of working like jobs that only paid me $15 an hour. And I just felt stuck in my career. And I wasn't dating. I just felt like a loser. That was the mindset I had. I feel like a loser. And I embodied that energy in my life. And guess what? I had the results commensurate with someone who is kind of a loser, like just like not winning at life, right? And I did a personal and self-development course that really changed my life. It's called the Landmark Forum. I did it when I was 25. And I actually was able to understand that I am not a fixed human being. I am somebody who can create myself and reinvent myself at any time. This is a key concept of growth mindset. And so I actually invented myself as the possibility of being a champion. And it took a while for it to kind of like fully integrate for me to like believe it and be like, oh yeah, like I'm a champion now. Like loser mindset would sometimes like pop in and try to like throw me off. And then I really started to embody it. And when I stood in champion mindset, I started to produce so many more results in all areas of my life. And any time in my life when I feel like a loser or I don't feel that great about myself, I'm like, wait a minute, you're not standing in champion energy. What would the champion version of Heather do? What would the champion Olympic Heather do? I'll tell you a story from my dating life really quick because I know a lot of y'all love to hear about my dating life. So I had been single for a very long time. I had been dating people and having kind of short-term relationships, but I hadn't met somebody that I was in love with, that I was just like, oh, this is my person. And I put myself in a game. And the game was, you got to meet 5 new men a week, Heather, where you got to talk to them, you got to give them your number, like you got to have interaction with them, and they got to be new every single week, okay? And I set that target for myself. That was gold, y'all. If I hit 5, that was gold. And what I started to push myself to do was like be a winner in that area of my life. And if I got a 0 one week or a 2, I wasn't like, I'm a loser, I suck, I quit. I was like, got it. I did not perform at my Olympic level. I did not push myself to gold. And so I started to look at like what was missing that I could put in. And like if I put that thing in, how would that alter my results that week? And within 2 months, I met Hunter, who is like the love of my life, right? Who's like my person. And I did that because I pushed myself in that Olympic mindset. I pushed myself to go for the gold, right? To go for what was difficult. And yeah, it takes practice. It takes work. It takes development. You're not going to necessarily just get this overnight. You're going to have to build a muscle, right? Just like you go to the gym and you do your reps and you lift your weights. So you got some biceps, right? Who's got some biceps? Flex for me if you got biceps. I got like my little girl biceps, but I still got biceps, right? You got to practice at developing Olympic mindset. But if you do this, what's on the other side is freedom, peace, joy, empowerment, enjoying the process, right? Like learning to love the game. Learning to love the game that you're playing, regardless of if you win or lose, but that you're in the game and you're enjoying it and you're having a good time. Letting go of being attached to the results, right? Like, oh, I didn't get a gold day, but I had a fabulous time playing the game today. That is what's really satisfying in life, is to develop yourself as someone who enjoys playing games, win or lose, okay? And I want to tell you 3 quick stories from my clients because I love stories. That's how I learn. And I want to tell you 3 quick stories about my clients who gave up having to be perfect with their nutrition and got tremendous results. One of my clients, Brittany, she started working with me, I think about 4 years ago. She was one of my first clients, actually. You can read about her on my website, on my testimonial section. And when she came to me, she was concerned that she was going to be traveling. She was going to be like going to Peru and traveling. And she was concerned that she wouldn't be able to follow the plan perfectly and do the things perfectly. And I said, I get that. And this journey is not about perfection. It's about progress and consistency and making headway on your goals. And she said, you're right. I will be coachable. Let's do it. And within, I think, 3 months, she's done a few rounds with me, but during those first 3 months, she lost, I think, close to 30 pounds, 25, 30 pounds, somewhere in there. And she continued to maintain that on her own. And, it's been 4 years and I just saw like a beautiful photo of her on Instagram, and she's maintained that result for herself, right? And when she went to Peru, she was eating all kinds of weird things. Like they didn't have a kitchen in their hotel, and she was like going to restaurants and like the food was weird. And I think maybe she got like food poisoning one time. Like things were wonky, right? But she stuck with it. She did not give up. She kept going. And that's why she got the results that she got. And that's why she's been able to maintain results, because she didn't hold herself to a standard of perfection. She held herself to a standard of consistency, right? Consistency is what gets results in any area of your life, not being perfect and hitting a home run every time. I want to tell you my story really quick too. When I first started, working with my food to try to change my physique and try to improve the way I was feeling, I didn't even measure my food. I didn't use a food scale. I just estimated things and logged them, and that got me results. I was like, wow, I'm getting results even though it's not perfect. You don't have to be obsessively perfect. This is something I teach my clients. You need to be in the ballpark. Consistency and being in the ballpark is what gets you results, not perfect measurements all the time and like insane perfection. One of my clients, Alex, when she started with me, she was a law student and she had a lot of networking events like cocktail happy hours, and she was traveling a bunch. She was also a little nervous about like, okay, how do I start this thing and like stay committed and get results? She also learned that she could eat out, she could travel, she could go out and have some cocktails and get results. My clients learn these different strategies and tools that empower them to navigate the different things that we have in life that are fun, and it helps them maintain their results long term. And then just this week, I was reviewing one of my clients' food diaries. I have a couple clients that are still working with me. They're doing kind of like what we call a gap month between my 2 rounds of coaching. And she kind of drank more alcohol than she wanted to the previous week. She'd had like 7 drinks. But this week, when she did her check-in, she was like, I just had 4 drinks and I logged them correctly and made it work in my diary. And that was progress for her. Like, obviously, as a coach, I prefer my clients to have 0 alcohol because it will accelerate their physique results much faster. But hey, if you enjoy having a couple drinks and it works for you and it's important to you and it's sustainable, then there's ways to make that work. And she is seeing results even though she's quote unquote, maybe not being absolutely perfect with all her choices. And she had pizza for breakfast one morning. She was like, I'm really craving a piece of cold pizza for breakfast. So that's what I ate. And she's learning how to fit in all of those different foods into her eating plan so that she can see the results. So I hope those stories inspired you. I've worked with some incredible women who've been so coachable and really taken to heart giving up perfection, focusing on being consistent, focusing on being a winner and developing their champion mindset, and focusing on being in like ballpark ranges as opposed to like obsessively focusing on eating the perfect food, hitting their macros perfectly. And that's really what produces results and sustainability long term. Applications are open to work with me right now for my coaching program, Empower. They're only open for 1 more week. They close in 1 week. So if you are interested in working with me for my spring summer round, definitely click the link in my Instagram bio. You can apply and then we can chat more. I don't know when I'm going to be doing this particular coaching program again. So this is your chance to get in for the spring summer time. And what we're going to be really learning is how to lose fat with flexible macro counting, without forbidden foods, without extremes, using gentle, consistent movement to get results. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this was valuable to you or you learned a new tidbit, then send me a DM on Instagram. Let me know what you learned. And I really appreciate you tuning in and giving me your ear today. And I look forward to chatting with you again soon.